Joe Molinar is doubtful, and Trevor Stokoyak is long-term.
Oh, he's out long term. How about Adam Diana?
Questionable.
Questionable? Okay. Molinar's been dealing with something for,
Yep, lower body. Stacks got hurt in practice and probably done for the season.
so 2 practice injuries and both
No.
in my week.
Well, that was one.
I'm seeing this is one of those years where you buy it, you come out of it.
Yeah.
So that can get through here. Scott, thoughts on first ever trip to Arizona State for a conference series?
We won't see snow. It'll be good.
I know that's one a lot of fans and even Bruce and I are really
Yeah.
looking forward to.
Yeah, I mean, good team. Saw what they did to Denver, right? Beat number 1 team in the country twice in their own building. So they were off last weekend, so neither one of us really has that, advantage of playing on Thanksgiving weekend. So, but I'm sure it's a big boost to them, right? But got a good team and they'll be ready to go. So we've got to find a way to win 2 games. Starts with a Friday.
What do you think? Why do you think the timing was right for them to join the NCHC now? And why do you think that they were a good fit for the league?
Well, they've been around. They've proven that. I mean, they didn't have a rink. They got a rink. That was a big drawback in the beginning. Obviously, they were an independent program to start, and they, over the years that they've been in existence, they proved, that they're certainly a legitimate team. And I hope that we can find homes for all of the independents, right? But makes sense where they're at in our league. Obviously, there was talk about the Big Ten, but worked out, and now we're going to be at 10. I was fine with 8, but now we're at 9. Now we're going to 10. It happened quickly.
With we've been talking before about the importance of, you mentioned trying to find all these independents at home, but finding places in your schedule to play these teams. You have Stony Hill, and you played Arizona State when they were independent. You got limited with the schedule going forward. It just, how important is it to have a conference for these teams, to find conferences for these teams to play in, from a stability standpoint for them?
Well, especially the way our world's going, right? I mean, you see an AIC moving down. It's not a good thing for our game. And again, it's hard to survive. It's like they don't have anything to play for. There's no conference championships. Yes, they can play for, like Arizona got at the NCAA tournament, but it's very difficult to do that with, the strength of their schedule is probably better just past the halfway point because everybody else is in conference play. So a lot of those teams end up playing each other a lot, right? Because they're not in a conference. So, I think that's one of the things Greg said, it gives their team something to look forward to play for, right? You got a regular season championship, you got a playoff championship. All they had was, we got to do well so we can get in the NCAA tournament. And they did, and they were close again a few times, but it's different. So, I mean, I worry about where it's going. I certainly do. Because we don't want to lose. Certainly, we want. Everyone talks about adding teams, right? And we got to make sure we don't lose teams. So.
Your group, you've played a little more than 30 year games.
Mm-hmm.
In looking for incremental progress, growth, how do you feel things have gone your team?
Not good enough. Seen some good parts, but just again, I think from giving up way too many goals. Probably our goaltending as a whole needs to be better. Our defensive play needs to be better. Scoring wise, inconsistent. Just we've been getting up way too many opportunities. We haven't protected the middle of the rink well enough. Again, I've been redundant with puck management and turnovers, and they seem to end up in the back burner. And that happens sometimes, right? doesn't happen all the time, but I think a key save here or there, tighten up defensively. Good getting Max back. He brings offense to our team. Certainly missed him. We need some other guys to, again, hopefully pick up some of that slack. And, hopefully as we move forward here, we get some continuity and consistency to some lines. There can always be changes, but everyone needs to produce a little bit more and play a little bit better. I mean, I think you've seen at times we can be a pretty good team, and then at times we're just probably an average team. And, we haven't shown very well against some of the top teams. Minnesota's, North Dakota, Western Michigan, 2 teams in our league that are predominantly in the top half of the league. And, were we in those games? Sure, we were in those games. Friday we could have beaten Western Michigan. Played well enough to win, but their goaltender was better than ours. And this isn't about our goaltending. I'm not blaming our goalies. It's just, Saturday they were the better team from the start, and Adam kept us in it. But yeah, we got to be better. I mean, there's no question. Hopefully some guys are learning, and some of the younger guys are learning, seeing some growth in their game. And, Dom's been good. Sam's line has been good, but there's still some guys that need to get better. And we're not a group that can rely on 2 or 3 guys. We need everybody to contribute and play well. And I think if we do that, we can put some wins together. But this group's got to learn how to win. It's got to learn how to win. It's not an easy thing.
You mentioned to John before he left, the top 2 lines are intact in the Western League. You just said you're trying to find some confidence. How important, you having a couple of weeks with the same top 6 as it were together, and granted, it doesn't solve everything, but how important can that be for those 6 guys to be able to play together?
Well, I mean, they've played together long enough. It's not like, again, I could throw Zam and Max together if they haven't been together in 5 years, and they're going to play well together, right? And we're still, Harper's been a good fit on that line, but, is it a long-term thing? I don't know. It could be. We're still waiting on a couple guys that we think should be in probably different spots than they are. Hopefully that happens. Smitty's been back and he's been good. Him and Loans have kind of been together with Joe, but that's obviously going to be different now. Betsy's there because Joe's out, and we're down a couple guys, so we've got 13 forwards probably going into this weekend. So there's not going to be a lot of changes. But yeah, I mean, again, if guys are playing the way they're capable of playing, it doesn't matter who they're playing with. And I think that's the big thing. You can't be, I'm going to be better because I'm playing with Bruce Siski, right? If you play your game the way you're supposed to play it, which is what we ask guys, just play your game. Then you're going to benefit our team. If you can't play your game because you don't like who you're playing with, or you need to play with somebody different, we'll find those chemistries. But like I said, I tell you this every year, you can put whatever you want on paper and it looks great, but it's still got to work out in a game, and sometimes they don't work out. Sometimes you go back to those, hoping that they will. But we're still searching. There's no question. I think it's the same thing on the back end, right? Tried some different pairs there, and I think that's still a work in progress to some degree. But there's a better idea now that we've seen the guys more. But some guys are going to get more opportunity here moving forward. It's that simple.
Scott, we were given the opportunity to years at Hospitality team, but how significant an opportunity is this for him?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, he had a great camp in the summer. I mean, you've seen how he's played here. He's been one of our best defensemen, most consistent defenseman for a young freshman D. That's not easy to do. So I hope he gets that opportunity because, he's a guy that could be a 2-year player in that tournament for them. And I think depending on what they're looking for, I think it can be a huge step for him too, confidence-wise. And I think he's played well enough to earn a really, really good look. I know they've got, a pretty good back end. There's going to be some tough decisions like there always is, but I hope it works out for him and we get a chance to see him play, because I think it's an experience that will benefit him and our team, because he's going to benefit from it, coming back a better player.
We're not there every day in practice. I'm wondering what you've seen in practice from Knapp and Sandy during the first half. We haven't gotten to see a few games yet.
Yeah. They're competing, they both want the net, which is good. Zach played the first game. Napper's been in there a couple times, so if Adam can't play, you might see both of them. I don't know what order, but I think it's a good opportunity to get them both in there.
Coach Wells said you're still searching for some pieces and parts. As you reflect on this first half, what are some areas where you feel like, man, that moment we found rhythm, or these specific parts we found rhythm?
The specific parts that were, I can't hear the music.
Sorry. Specific parts of the game that you finally found rhythm you felt like in the first half.
Well, I think our power play has been pretty good. We've had some different guys in there, but I think for the most part, it's been pretty consistent. At times, it's kind of like our game. At times, it looks horrible, and then but I think, we've done a pretty good job there. I think we're trying to develop more offensive consistency, just in the way we play in the offensive zone. We don't get enough pucks to the net. I mean, we've been harping on that the last 2 weeks. Like, we just don't get enough pucks to the net, whether it's 5-on-5 play or power play. So we've been really trying to stress getting pucks on the net, creating second and third chances, but again, everyone's trying to score on every shot, and I think there's a time and a place for that, but I just don't think we don't play inside. Conversely, defensively, I'll back up here. Conversely, defensively, I don't think we protect the inside of the rink as well as we need to. Offensively, I don't think we get to the inside of the rink as much as we need to. So it's kind of flip-flop. So things we got to keep working on, and I think one of the things that we stressed this last 2 weeks was not getting undisciplined. Like, we've had some ration majors, and we've taken some penalties, and I think it was 22 minutes or whatever in one game. And I don't care how good your killers are, you're going against power plays in our league. You give them those opportunities, they're going to score eventually, and that's really what won them the game on Saturday. Our goalie was good in the first period, kept it 0-0. We got a lead, and then we take a major, and they score two, and the game pretty much is over. And that cannot creep in. Last year it did too. I don't care how frustrated guys seem to be. That was the number one priority coming into the year, was cutting down on penalties, and I thought we did that early. But we cannot let that creep in right now, because it'll hurt us. It's hard enough, but we don't need to have that creep in.
When you look at the games you've collectively played so far, is there a series or a game that sticks out that you said, man, we really had it all together? Or something that you come back to your mind, your team, the way that you played?
I don't think there was one game that I feel we had it all together. I mean, I think, believe it or not, I thought we played a pretty good game Saturday against Minnesota. I thought Western was probably one of our better games lately, the Friday game, just as far as generating opportunities and playing with the intensity. We didn't have that Saturday to start, but Miami, there's been a lot of good moments, just like there's been a lot of not so good moments, and that's what you go through, right? You got to ride those waves, and I think one of the things this group has to do is ride those waves better. We can't have the peaks and valleys. Like, I think they're way too steep right now. You got to handle the moments where things aren't going good, or you're behind a goal, or you're up a goal, and you got to learn how to deal with that. And that's what wins hockey games, right? That's what wins hockey games, or gives you the best chance to win. And I think we've got to, emotionally ride those better. And I don't think we've done a very good job of that.
Riding, waves of peaks. You're going to a team that is coming off a major peak, a big peak in their season, I'm sure, as they look back on the entire season. And sometimes sometimes teams come off that and they ride that and they're consistent with it, and sometimes they fall flat. What excitement, is there a different level of excitement playing a team that, now has knocked off another one?
Not really. Like, again, it's another team in our league, and you know that in this league we have a lot of good hockey teams, and if you're not ready to play, you're not gonna have a chance to win. And we're not going to Arizona for a vacation. We're going down there to win 2 hockey games before break. They're thinking probably the same thing. They want to build off what they did. They want to stay ahead of us in the standings. We need to find a way to get points, and we need to put together some 60-minute efforts or whatever it takes to try and win hockey games, and that's all we need to focus on, and that's all we can do, and it doesn't matter who we're playing. It doesn't matter who we're playing.
Thanks.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's a really cool honor, but still haven't made the team, and that's my ultimate goal. So I'm just excited for the opportunity to try to make that team coming up here.
What the World Juniors? What does that mean to you? Is that something you grew up watching a lot as a kid?
Yeah, I got a lot of memories of just watching that over Christmas. So I think like every kid growing up, they just wanted to play for that team. So it's always been a goal of mine. So I'm just hopefully I can put myself in the best spot to make that team.
What do you think you've done well here at UMD over the first 13 games that put you in this spot to possibly play in the World Juniors?
I just think, playing my role, defending hard, and kind of just shutting down plays and just playing simple, getting the puck up the ice.
Where do you feel you've grown the most?
I think just being a little more consistent, just being a little bit harder to play against, not being sometimes a little too easy to play against at times. I think I can still get better, but I think I've gotten a lot better during the season.
You take a lot of pride in your defensive game as opposed to being one of those defensemen that are putting up a ton of points out there?
I'd like to do both, but I think right now I'm just trying to focus on defending first, and as I get better I want to do both. So I want to be a well-rounded D and be able to do everything.
You guys go ahead out in Arizona this weekend. I know when a team is coming off such a high, they either ride that high and they continue with it, or they kind of fall flat. How are you guys looking to pick apart Arizona's game this weekend to make sure you come home?
Yeah, obviously they swept Denver, which was pretty big for them. So I think we're just treating them like any other opponent. Just got to out-compete them, and hopefully the results will follow.
Coach named a couple areas of your guys' season so far that you found rhythms and seen rhythms in the season. For you, where have you felt like you found your own rhythm?
I feel like maybe as of late, maybe especially when we were playing Miami of Ohio, I think our team started clicking. So hopefully we can carry some of that success we had in that weekend. And then I thought the Western Series, I thought we played well. Just some of the bounces were a little off, and I thought we could have had a couple of those games. So I think we're right there, and just, don't need to stop making a couple mistakes, and then I think we'll be good.
Good. Cool. Awesome.
All right.
Thanks, Adam.
Perfect.